What's up, everybody? My name is The Rose, and today I am joined by my friend Sean, and we're going to discuss the Game Awards. Basically, our predictions of who's going to win and our choices of who we want to win. Unfortunately, I couldn't record my screen. I tried like 4 different recording softwares. I tried Fraps and whatnot, and a couple other lesser known softwares, but nothing wanted to work out for me, so this recording is just us talking, and you're going to see screenshots of all the nominations and whatnot. So hopefully that doesn't bother you too much. I hope you enjoy it. Without further ado, let's get to it. Alright, so basically what we're doing today is we're going to go over the Game Awards, which will air tomorrow night at 9 o'clock Eastern, 8 Central. You can watch it on Twitch, YouTube, PlayStation Network, Wii U, Xbox Live, and a whole bunch of other places. So we're going to go through some of these nominees. We're not going to do them all. Like, for instance, we're going to skip Best Mobile because mobile games are shit, mostly. We're going to skip the esports stuff and the trending gamer. I don't want to touch that category. So yeah, we're going to do about 10 or 12 of these. We're going to do Game of the Year and Developer of the Year last. Those are going to be the last two, generally, because that's how the awards always usually work. So, starting from the second list, I don't know if you want to start with Best Indie Game or which direction you want to start with, or if you want to start from the bottom and go and work your way up.
I'm fine with either way. You can just start with Best Indie Game if you're down for that.
Alright, so we'll start from Best Indie Game. And the nominees are Axiom Verge. We got Her Story, which I'm not familiar with. I am familiar with Axiom Verge. I've seen quite a bit of gameplay and stuff on that. It looks like a pretty decent game. Then we got Ori and the Blind Forest, which is by Moon Studios. Then we got Rocket League, which is, of course, we all know I'm really familiar with that one. We got Undertale, which is another game that's been taking YouTube and Twitch by storm.
Yeah, Undertale is huge.
I haven't seen gameplay on it. I've been meaning to check it out. I know it's like they made it like sort of like an action RPG type thing.
Yeah, it's basically normally when you're normally playing through the game, it's like the original Zelda game. You're just exploring a map.
Right.
And when you get into combat, it's more of a turn-based some sort of RPG hybrid.
So it's sort of something like off of, I guess, like NES, like maybe SNES type graphics and whatnot. It was probably
it's a very pixelized, like 16-bit graphics.
So it's probably made an RPG maker, like some form of RPG maker, maybe.
I'm going to guess that it might be.
So out of these five, out of the 5 nominees, who do you think's going to take this one?
Well, I think that probably since Undertale is so huge, it'll probably win. My personal choice, however, would be Axiom Verge. I adore that game. It's a great Metroidvania. It's so much fun.
Like I said, I've seen a lot of gameplay on it. I haven't played it myself yet, but I've seen enough gameplay on it to pretty much know a lot about it. It looks pretty good. I think it has a good chance of winning. I think Undertale has a good chance of winning.
I think, personally, I've never heard of Her Story, as you haven't either.
Yeah, I've never heard of that one.
I do not know what this game is.
Just looking at this screenshot, I have no idea what to make of it.
Mm-hmm. But all of these other games have gotten critical acclaim. Like, Ori and the Blind Forest is another fantastic Metroidvania. I personally haven't played it, but I really want to. And again, Rocket League. I know you love the game.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
I want to play it, but again, money.
No, it was actually, see, the way I got it was I got it for free through PlayStation Plus when the game came out in July. So
yeah, when it was free for PlayStation Plus, that was the month I didn't have PS Plus.
Yeah, and that game took Twitch and YouTube by storm.
Yeah,
for like a month or two. It even had professional sports players playing it. Mm-hmm. That's how big it got. But So you think Undertale's going to take it mainly because it's it's newer
It's
and
everyone's favorite game right now.
yeah, it's there right now. But you're gonna go with Axiom Verge as your pick.
I want Axiom Verge to win.
I'm gonna go with Rocket League because awesome game.
Because, yeah.
And that's like the only one on this list I've actually played.
Yeah.
But you're gonna say Undertale takes it. I'm gonna go with Rocket League, so I'm gonna vote.
All right.
I'm gonna vote Rocket League. That's my choice. I
Okay.
think Rocket League does have a chance of winning because of how.
I do think all of these have a chance of winning. Again, I'm not sure about her story. I've never heard of it. But I think all of these games have a chance.
Right, yeah. See, I think Rocket League has a chance of winning only because of how, great of a start it had. And the fact that it still does have a following, people are still actively playing it, so. And it's still getting DLC, and I just 100% the game for the 5th time last night, so.
Crazy, dude.
So, moving on to Best Narrative, because we're gonna skip the mobile games.
Well, I will say for mobile games, I did look through the list.
As did I.
I don't play mobile games, but Monster Hunter 4 Ultimate, fantastic. It's a great game.
That was
on the 3DS.
I was watching Boogie 2988, aka Francis. He did something similar to this. Only, unlike me, he was able to record his screen.
Yeah.
He voted for the Pac-Man game. And if I were to pick a mobile game, I'd pick Pac-Man only because I really don't care for the other ones. But I just want to skip that entire section completely because I really don't care for mobile games. So we're on Best Narrative, which is for Best Story, pretty much. And the nominees for this one again are Her Story, shows up again. Life is Strange, which had a really good story, from what I've seen. Tales from the Borderlands, which I heard was pretty good. And The Witcher 3. And Until Dawn.
All right. So, personally, I haven't played any of these games. I feel, from what I know about them all, though, I think Life is Strange has the highest chance of winning because what it did was just so different.
Oh yeah, it was a really good story. It really was.
I mean, Tales from the Borderlands, I think it was basically like the Walking Dead games, but it had humor instead of seriousness.
Right.
Until Dawn, that's just a mind fuck of a game. It's weird. And then Witcher 3, one of the only RPGs that released this year that I haven't played.
So, and again, we don't know diddly dick about Her Story, which so based on this list, I think Life is Strange is going to win it.
Yeah.
Because it had a really good story, and this game literally took almost an entire year to release.
Oh yeah.
So
yeah, it's another one of those
and
sequential
games. And Square Enix made it, and they're pretty good at telling stories usually.
Yeah, Square is great at storytelling.
So I think Life is Strange is gonna win, and that's actually gonna be my choice as well.
Yeah, I'm gonna go with that as well.
So we agree there. You want to go with best soundtrack? Do you want to skip that one, or?
I don't know. It's up to you, really.
I mean, because I've never played any of these games on here, so I don't know what the music scores are. And I know the only one that I see on this list that you played at least was Fallout 4.
I've also played Metal Gear.
And then you got Halo 5, you got Ori and the Blind Forest again, and Witcher 3 again.
Yeah.
So
I don't know. I don't really pay a whole lot of attention to soundtrack half the time.
Right.
I mean, the Fallout series isn't really known for their soundtracks. I think Fallout 4 is the first one to actually have ambient music in the background. Unless you open up your Pip-Boy and put on your radio. But and then Metal Gear as well. It's not a game that usually has background music unless you put on a music tape. So
if you had to pick between Fallout 4 and Metal Gear, which one would you pick out of those two that you played?
Probably Metal Gear.
Metal Gear. See, I'm not going to vote on that one because I haven't, like I said, I haven't played or heard any of the scores from those games. Best performance. This is going to be for voice acting in a game. And you have Ashley Birch as Chloe from Life is Strange. You have Camilla Luddington as Lara Croft from Rise of the Tomb Raider. You have Doug Cockle as Geralt from The Witcher 3. You have Mark Hamill as the Joker from Batman Arkham Knight. And Viva Seifert from Her Story, which again we know nothing about. Surprisingly,
apparently this game's great.
Yeah, this got 3.
It's being nominated for a bunch of stuff, and I've never heard of it.
Right. I mean, Mark Hamill is probably the most famous out of everybody on this list.
Oh yeah, for sure.
So, and the Joker is a really popular character. I think he's gonna run away with this one.
Yeah. Again, I've never played any of these games. But I don't know if Doug has played Geralt in the past. But I know his past, like in The Witcher 2 and Witcher 1, those were, in my opinion, pretty good performances. But yeah, I'd probably have to go with the Joker as well.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, out of everybody here, Mark Hamill's like the name that just jumps out at you. Mm-hmm. Definitely. All right. So next we're gonna go on to games for impact. This one is a category that pretty much, like, I guess made an impact, I guess, to the people playing the game. This one you have looks like Sibel. I don't exactly know how to pronounce that one. Then you got Her Story again for the 4th time. Life is Strange, Sunset, and Undertale.
Again, Undertale, man. That game, like, within the first 5 seconds, depending on which playthrough you're going, you can feel like the coolest dude ever or a royal piece of shit.
So it's one of those games where you could be the hero or the complete asshole.
Basically. It tears you apart and makes you feel just like shit.
See, I've never heard of Sunset.
I haven't heard of Sunset.
And I never heard of the first one either.
Her Story.
I mean, I would pick Life is Strange only because I know the story for that game.
Mm-hmm.
But, like I said, Undertale is really popular, so I think that one's going to win. Because a lot of people now are still playing it on YouTube as well. And I don't exactly know who's on this jury, so, these votes can go either way.
Yeah.
But,
sure.
So you think Undertale's going to take it.
Yep.
Again, I'm going to vote for Life is Strange only because that's the one I know the most out of this selection.
Fair enough.
So next we go to, these are now the genre-related games. So now you're going to have Best Shooter, Best Action, Best Fighter, and so on. So the Best Shooter, you have Black Ops 3, naturally, Destiny the Taken King, Halo 5, Splatoon, or Star Wars Battlefront.
Alright, so I'm not much of a shooter player.
Neither
I just
am I.
haven't really gotten into them. But I feel like I've heard that Halo 5 was kind of... I mean, I'm sure the multiplayer was great, but besides that, it was just kind of meh. Star Wars, again, I've heard that it just was unfinished. There's, like,
I heard it was very
content.
Yeah, I heard it was very lacking in content.
Destiny, I have played myself. It's got good gunplay, like it's a good shooter, but it just does like so many things just wrong as a game. It gets really it's an MMO on a console.
Right.
Like, it gets grindy real fast.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Call of Duty, I've never liked the series, so
Call of Duty is, I don't want to offend anybody, so I'm going to keep my opinion to myself. But if you know me, you already know what I think of that series. Personally, I don't like Destiny being nominated here because the Taken...
It shouldn't count because the Taken King is a DLC.
Yeah, it's not a game.
So I don't think that... My personal pick would be Splatoon because Nintendo did shooter right.
Right.
Like,
and not only that, Splatoon was a sleeper. People knew about the game, but nobody thought it was going to be really good. And it just blew up all over the
Exactly.
internet. When
It's
it came
huge.
out, it just got huge. And it's still huge to this day right now
Especially
because
when last month they announced all this new free content.
Right, and Nintendo released the Splatoon and Smash Bros. Bundle for
Exactly,
Black Friday
too.
for
So that's going to
Christmas.
get even more people playing it.
But personally, I don't like Destiny getting nominated here because The Taken King, it's not a full game in itself. It's an expansion on the original game. Destiny came out last year. Destiny had its chances last year. I don't like an expansion that's not a full game being nominated on a list for best anything. So
Yeah,
I would
I
remove
don't think
that.
Destiny should be there.
I would remove that honestly. While I haven't played Splatoon, we do have it in my house. I have seen a lot of gameplay on it. I think Splatoon's gonna win, or at least I would think it would win personally because how popular Call of Duty still is. I think that could win. I don't think Battlefront stands a chance because that game was just hated.
Battlefront does not stand a chance.
That game was just hated right off the bat.
Yeah.
Honestly, I think it's going to be a toss-up between Halo 5 and Black Ops 3. I think Splatoon still has a chance to win, however.
Yeah, definitely.
So I'm going to go with Splatoon. I don't know what your choice for that would be.
Yeah, Splatoon would be my choice as well.
Best action adventure game. This is you got Assassin's Creed Syndicate, Batman Arkham Knight, Metal Gear Solid 5, Ori and the Blind Forest, and Rise of the Tomb Raider.
So, I've got a lot of, since I'm a PC gamer, I've got a lot of bias towards Batman. Broken on launch and unplayable on PC.
Which pissed a lot of people off.
They took it off of, Rocksteady took it off of Steam and gave people refunds. That should never happen.
And then I heard when they re-released it, it had another problem and it pissed people off again. For a different reason. So
that stuff should not be happening this day and age.
Right.
Now, again, with Assassin's Creed, I heard that Syndicate was much better than which one came out last year? Unity?
I think it was Unity. Pretty sure it was.
Syndicate was a lot better. I haven't purchased an Assassin's Creed game for the past 4 years, so I don't know. I don't own an Xbox, so I haven't played Rise of the Tomb Raider. I gotta give my vote to Metal Gear. It's a great game.
And I would give my vote to Metal Gear as well. I mean, I haven't played any of these games, so I'm not going to vote on this category myself. But personally, I heard Rise of the Tomb Raider was pretty good. I don't think Batman stands a chance of winning only because of the PC disaster.
Yeah.
And considering that the majority of gamers are PC gamers, I think the PC disaster with Arkham Knight's is gonna screw over the win there. Ori and the Blind Forest, I just don't think that game is big enough to actually win. Best
Metal
award
Gear
for
had
the
so
genre.
much hype behind it that I honestly don't think a whole lot of these other games have a standing chance.
Yeah, because Assassin's Creed is an every year game. Metal Gear isn't. So, I think Metal Gear 5 is going to take this one. Metal Gear Solid 5. That's my pick. That's your pick. I think that's everybody's pick, honestly.
Yeah, probably.
Best RPG. Now, before I read this one off, I know they won't put any JRPGs on these lists, but I think because they still are RPGs, I think some of them, once in a while, when a really good one comes out, I think deserves a shot at winning, but they never get nominated. Never.
Oh, yeah, because JRPG is such a niche.
And it only has, I know it has a much smaller following than most of these games on this list.
Yeah.
But personally, if I were to pick, I know it's not on here, if I were to pick a best RPG for the year, for me, it would be Disgaea 5, for me.
All right.
But on this list, you got Bloodborne, Fallout 4, Pillars of Eternity, The Witcher 3, and Undertale.
I gotta give it to Bloodborne. That game is fantastic.
And it's hard as shit, from what I've heard.
It's hard as shit, but once you get good, damn, it rewards you Fallout 4, I love the Fallout series. I love Fallout 4. It just felt so underwhelming.
Not only that, but the Fallout games, I feel like they're more shooter than they are RPG.
Yeah, it doesn't. Yeah, it's definitely a lot more shooter than RPG. Like, it's got its elements. Fallout 4 was a lot more dumbed down compared to the other Fallouts.
It just doesn't seem to have enough RPG elements in it.
Pillars of Eternity. I know about the game. I've heard about it. But I really don't know a whole lot about it. Witcher 3, I haven't played. And then, again, Undertale. I don't think Undertale deserves the win for this.
Because it's too new and it's an indie game, pretty much.
Well, not really that. It's just... it doesn't have a whole lot of RPG elements. Like, depending on what playthrough you go on, you don't even level up.
Really?
Yeah.
Interesting. So Undertale, it could be lacking in RPG elements. Fallout 4 is definitely lacking in RPG elements. Quite honestly, I would peg Fallout series almost on the same grounds as Borderlands when you're talking RPG.
Yeah.
Because Borderlands has that RPG element as well, but it just doesn't have enough to qualify it as an actual RPG.
Yeah, so I'm giving my vote to Bloodborne.
I would say Bloodborne as well. Next, we got Best Fighting Game. You know, I probably know a lot more about fighters than you do.
Yeah, I'm not much of a fighter player. I mean, if Smash Brothers weren't already like a year old now,
yeah, otherwise
that would have taken my vote.
That was on the list last year, and I'm pretty sure it won it last year.
Yeah.
But out of the games on this list so far, this was actually the first category with only 4 nominees instead of 5. You have Guilty Gear Xrd Sign. I have seen a little bit of gameplay on this one through working on Erin's demo because she actually has a character in this game. Mortal Kombat X, which we all know I'm very familiar with. I love Mortal Kombat. I've played every single game in the main series of Mortal Kombat from the very first one up until now, so I have not missed a single game in the main story. Then you got Rise of the Incarnates, which personally I've never heard of. And then you have Rising Thunder, which is a game I've been wanting to play. I just haven't gotten around to it yet.
Yeah, I would probably pick Rising Thunder, probably because I have a good friend of mine. He's really into fighting games, and he says Rising Thunder is basically if you don't play fighting games but you want to get into them, play Rising Thunder. It's baby's first fighting game.
Yeah, I've heard it's really easy to get into. From what I've seen in trailers and stuff on Steam, it looks pretty good.
Yeah, it looks great.
But out of these 4 games, I'm gonna have to give my vote to Mortal Kombat because it's the one that I know the most about, and I just love the game. And honestly, I think that's the one that's gonna take it.
Yeah, I feel like Mortal Kombat's definitely gonna win.
It was a very hyped up game too.
Yeah, again, that was another just really hyped up game.
Because NetherRealm, Ed Boon, and his guys, they do releases right. They do them every few years. They don't do them every year or two. You know, they wait like 3 or 4 years in between.
Yeah.
So I think Mortal Kombat's going to take that one. Next one, we have Best Family Game, which is like Best Casual Family Game. You have Disney Infinity 3.0, Lego Dimensions, Skylanders Superchargers, Splatoon, and Mario Maker.
We both know who you're voting for.
Exactly.
I'm probably going to have to give my vote to Mario Maker as well.
This game is just fantastic. It really was.
Yeah.
I mean, the ROM hack community for Super Mario World and Super Mario 64 and even Yoshi's Island got some attention. The ROM hack community for those games just got so big over like the past 10 years.
I mean, next year they're probably going to add a whole bunch of stuff to Mario Maker.
Right. So again, between Disney Infinity 3.0, Lego Dimensions, Skylanders Superchargers, Splatoon, and Mario Maker, we're going to go with Mario Maker.
I do think Splatoon has a chance, though.
I think it does because that was a sleeper title, and because it's Nintendo, it's not overly violent like most shooters and whatnot. Skylanders had its following, and it kind of still does.
Yeah.
But I think Skylanders against Superchargers is just another different version of the game.
Yeah.
Disney Infinity 3.0, it's more or less just an
It's
upgrade of the game itself. That's why.
yeah. 3.0.
And Splatoon, I think, has a shot at winning. I think Mario Maker is just going to run away with it, though.
Yeah, probably.
So there's that. So I'm going to put my vote down for Mario Maker. And I noticed that I hit the stop button on my recorder by accident, so I got to see what we missed and go over it again. Let's see. So, best sports racing game. Again, this is probably something I know a lot more than you. We got FIFA 16, which I don't really care for soccer. No offense to anybody who loves soccer. NBA 2K16. Pro Evolution Soccer. Again, there's more soccer. Rocket League and Forza 6.
Calm down, phone. I'm going to have to say Rocket League is probably going to take it.
Honestly, I think it's going to be between. Honestly, I think any of these games can win. To be honest,
I mean, each respective game has its own gigantic following.
It depends on the jury. The one thing I don't like on here, though, is the fact that two different FIFA games, like soccer, European football, two games from the same sport got nominated.
Yeah.
Quite honestly, I would remove either FIFA 16 or Pro Evolution Soccer 16 and put Madden in there because American football.
Yeah.
But that would just be that's just my opinion. Depending on the jury, if they're even sports fans to begin with. Forza 6, I haven't played a Forza game since Forza 4 because I don't have an Xbox One yet. The Xbox One I am getting is the Blue Special Edition, which comes with Forza 6. So I am going to play it, and I'm sure I'm going to enjoy it. I just heard bad things about Forza 5, like it was really dumbed down. And I heard some things about Forza 6 that I don't really like. Like I heard the racing aspect was dumbed down and the difficulty was tweaked a little bit, like in a bad way.
Mm-hmm.
Rocket League, Rocket League is a good game and all, but the online is still there. People still actively play it. I just don't think I think it stands the least chance out of these 5 games of winning.
All right.
So I'm gonna go with Forza, even though I haven't played it yet, but I have enjoyed past games in the series. I'm gonna say Forza. I still think one of these soccer games should have been removed and switched for Madden. That's my idea. I don't know who you would think you would go with for winning.
I think I'd probably. I am kind of into racing games, but I haven't played one in the past few years that really enticed me.
And quite honestly, I'm surprised Need for Speed's not on this list, the new one. I know it just came out like 3 weeks ago.
Well, Battlefront is on the list, and it came out like a week ago.
Right, that's why I'm sort of surprised that the new Need for Speed's not on his list.
Yeah.
Honestly, I think that should have replaced Rocket League, but that's just my opinion. Because Rocket League is an esport game, it's not really an actual sport.
Yeah.
It's an esport game, and it's not a racing game.
Yeah, I get you.
So, honestly, I think Rocket League shouldn't be in this category. I'm not mad that it is, but I just don't think it really fits.
Yeah.
So now we're going to move on to Best Multiplayer, which, again, you have Call of Duty, Black Ops 3, Destiny the Taken King. This sounds like Best Shooter all over again. Halo 5, Rocket League, and Splatoon.
Well, again, Destiny doesn't deserve to be in there.
Right.
It's DLC, that doesn't count. For how much anyone hates Call of Duty or loves it, it's a solid shooter.
Yeah, and a lot of people still play it.
And the multiplayer is actually quite good. It's the community that's just
shit
that tears the game down.
Right.
Halo has always been known for its multiplayer. People adore it. I've never owned an Xbox, so I've never played Halo.
Splatoon that was a very big surprise to everybody.
Mm-hmm. No one expected Splatoon to be good, but it was great.
And Rocket League is just there, which again, surprised people.
Exactly.
But Splatoon, I think, still has a bigger following than Rocket League. I don't think Rocket League's going to win this one. Honestly, The two, I think this one's going to be a toss-up between Halo 5 and Call of Duty.
Yeah, probably.
But, again, I'm going to give my vote to Rocket League because I love that game. I don't think it's going to win, but that's just who I'm going for. And now, this category, Best Art Direction. This one is, like, for visuals and graphics. Then you got Batman Arkham Knight, Bloodborne, Metal Gear Solid 5, Witcher 3, and Ori and the Blind Forest.
So, I'm not entirely sure about Batman. I've seen screen caps. That's really it. Because I really have no interest in the Batman series, like the games. That's just my personal opinion. Ori and the Blind Forest. It looks nice, but I really don't think it can compete with all these other games.
Right.
Witcher, again, looks great, especially on like a high-end PC build. It looks fantastic. Metal Gear, again, looks great, but I gotta give it to Bloodborne.
In a way, I'm surprised Fallout 4 is not on this list.
Well, Fallout 4's art direction's kind of... I mean, it's not bad in any way, shape, and form, but it doesn't, like... most people want it to be realistic, and it can't really compete realistic-wise with all these other games, because Fallout 4 was a lot more cartoony, quote-unquote.
Right.
But I gotta give it to Bloodborne. I love the gothic architecture, and just From Software does a great job with just their art direction, just in general.
So out of all the games on this list, I've heard really good things visually about Bloodborne, Metal Gear Solid 5, and The Witcher 3.
Yeah.
So I think it's going to be a toss-up between those three games, honestly.
Yeah.
I've heard things about the Batman game, especially on, again, the PC disaster is going to hurt it. And I heard that this game isn't visually as great as it actually could be, from what I've been hearing, especially on consoles.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I'll have to give it to either The Witcher 3, Metal Gear Solid 5, or Bloodborne. I think one of those games is going to take it.
And see, Bloodborne is a PS4 exclusive, so it really took the PS4 hardware and used it to, maybe not its full potential, but a lot of its potential. Unlike Metal Gear and The Witcher, which are cross-platform.
Now, do you think because Bloodborne is console exclusive, do you think that could hurt it in any way in terms of winning?
It honestly could, because people who don't own a PS4
haven't played it and probably will never play it.
Exactly.
And then Xbox fans obviously aren't going to go get a PS4 just for that game.
Exactly.
So there's a chance, being an exclusive title could actually hurt it.
I think, yeah. If it's just an exclusive game, it has a chance to hurt it in any category. But for this category, I personally think that being an exclusive really helps it.
Right, because the PS4, a lot of people, even in the gaming industry, say the PS4 graphically has better hardware than the Xbox. I'm not taking shots at anybody. I'm not starting a fanboy war. I'm not even going to go there. I'm just stating facts that, have been all over the internet. So,
yeah.
Before we go to the most anticipated two awards, I want to jump down to the bottom and look at the most anticipated game for this for next year. The nominees for most anticipated game of 2016 are Horizon Zero Dawn, No Man's Sky, Quantum Break, The Last Guardian, and Uncharted 4.
I mean, there's no way in hell The Last Guardian's not going to win.
Honestly, I think it's going to be a really good fight between Uncharted 4 and The Last Guardian. I've seen the last trailer I've seen from E3 this year of both games looked fantastic.
Yeah.
Especially The Last Guardian.
I've only played Uncharted 3, and I kind of got turned off from the series after that. I didn't really enjoy it that much.
The game, the Uncharted series is really good. It's it's like a third person shooter. It's more linear than it is open world. There really is no open world to it. It's a Naughty Dog game, so
Yeah, it's a Naughty Dog game.
they really don't do open world, but it had its moments. It has its gameplay. The shooter aspect of it is really good. The puzzle aspects to it get really annoying really fast.
Yeah.
And there's actually, you can't vote for this category because this is a fan's choice.
Yeah.
So, personally, I think it's going to be between Last Guardian and Uncharted 4.
Yeah.
I never heard.
I'd have to agree because I mean, No Man's Sky, you got to give it credit. It looks cool.
I just don't understand it.
Nobody knows what the hell it is yet.
I don't know. I just look at it and I'm just completely turned off by it because I'm just like, what the hell is this?
Yeah. If they told us what the game was, I'd be more excited, maybe. But it looks cool.
And
that's about it.
As for Quantum Break and Horizon Zero Dawn, I've never heard of these games.
Well, Horizon Zero Dawn, that was shown this E3, I'm pretty sure.
If it was, I might have missed it. I might have missed that one.
It's made by the same people who made, I want to say, Killzone.
It's made by Guerrilla Games and Sony Computer Entertainment, so...
I think it's basically like a Primal, but with like robots. It's weird.
And
but
also,
it looks really freaking cool.
And also, according to the development team for Quantum Break, it seems that that's a console exclusive to the Xbox.
Yeah, I think that might be Xbox exclusive.
Yeah, it says Remedy Entertainment / Microsoft Studios.
Yeah.
I know.
Course, Last Guardian and Uncharted are
right
exclusive. I'm not sure about Horizon. It might be PS4 exclusive.
It might be, or it could be PS4 PC because Sony does port some of their games to the PC.
Yeah.
But we know Uncharted 4 definitely is going to be exclusive.
Yeah. Last Guardian.
Possibly.
Maybe.
Most likely is. So, honestly, these look like all console exclusives. I don't know about No Man's Sky.
I think No Man's Sky is
going to be everything. Possibly.
Actually, I don't know. Because
they haven't even told us what console it's going to be on. That's how little we know about it.
It was shown at Sony's conference for like the past 3 years, and we still know nothing about it.
Yeah, the last I've seen,
it's going to be on PlayStation for sure.
The last I've seen, it was at E3 this year, and it was at the Sony Expo for the 20th anniversary Expo. Mm-hmm. And I remember they did the whole No Man's Sky OST concert.
Yeah,
they actually had the whole band there, for the night.
Yeah.
But yeah.
We'll probably find out more about No Man's Sky at PSX, which is coming out pretty soon, within the next week or so.
Yeah, I think it is in the next week or two. But yeah, definitely Uncharted 4 or Last Guardian. They both look really good. Mm-hmm. Most likely both of them are console exclusive. So if you got a PlayStation 4, you got some pretty good games to look forward to.
Yeah.
All right, so now that we're done with those, we're going to move up to the top of the list here, and we're going to start with Developer of the Year before... Game of the Year is always the main event, so...
Of course.
We got some pretty good contenders, which honestly I think any one of these has a shot.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
We got Bethesda for Fallout 4, CD Projekt Red for Witcher 3, From Software for Bloodborne, I'm sorry, Kojima Productions for Metal Gear Solid 5, and Nintendo, which released Mario Maker and Splatoon this year, as well as a couple, some pretty good 3DS games had come out this year. I think just because what's being anticipated for Nintendo next year might actually give them a boost. But yeah, I think Nintendo stands the least chance of winning, but I think any one of these five stands a chance.
Yeah, they all have a chance. People have been waiting for Fallout for years.
And we
People
finally got it.
People have been waiting for Metal Gear for years.
And we finally got it.
Even The Witcher. Maybe not as long. I don't remember when The Witcher came out. But... And then Bloodborne. Again, great game. So I adore From Software's games. So I'm giving mine to FromSoft.
I'm obviously going to go with Nintendo. Honestly, right now, the kid in me is screaming Nintendo.
Yeah. Nintendo's kind of been disappointing these past 3 years.
Right, but they've stepped it up in the past couple of years.
Oh, yeah.
And
it's just, with the Wii U, things have been kind of shaky with them.
Right,
and it makes me sad because, again, the kid in me, I I will never stop buying Nintendo consoles. I will never stop.
Oh yeah, and I'm
I
looking
will
forward to
always
the
be playing those
NX.
games.
Yeah, and I'm looking forward to the NX, definitely. I want to see what that's
Whatever
about.
it is, I'm looking forward to it
Yeah,
as well.
that's another thing we don't know much about.
This next E3. That's
Yep.
what they said.
All right, well, here's the main event. Game of the Year. And we have some knockout titles. We got Bloodborne, Fallout 4, Metal Gear Solid 5, Witcher 3, and of course, Mario Maker. Honestly, Mario Maker was the surprise out of all these nominees.
Oh yeah.
Mario Maker definitely was the surprise nominee in this category.
Mm-hmm. So
again, do you think Bloodborne being console exclusive, do you think it hurts it?
It
hurts
definitely
its
hurts it
chance
in this category.
winning
for
Game
sure.
of the Year.
It being a console exclusive, not everyone's played it, and the fact that it's a From game, they make hard games. The
Oh, yeah.
Souls series, they are brutal, and if you're bad at that game, you won't want to keep playing. So, Bloodborne and the Souls games, just in general, are a test to patience and your skill, and not everyone has that.
I am definitely an impatient person. I'm not going to lie. If I start getting aggravated at a game, in the past I've had tendencies to smash controllers.
Oh, we've all had that.
I've smashed quite a bit of controllers in my day. So, yeah, that's why I've never played a From Software game, because I don't want to break an expensive controller.
No matter how much I love them, I'd say don't play them.
I don't have patience. I do not have patience in a game.
So,
in most games, I should say.
Fallout 4, I mean, people have been talking about it for years. They've been wanting it for years. It's a great game. It's fantastic.
It's been, what, 3 years since New Vegas came out as well?
New Vegas came out when I was still in, I wasn't even in high school when New Vegas came out.
Because I know Fallout 3 came out in, 08, 07, 08? And then New Vegas came out, two years later, I believe.
Something like that. I honestly don't remember.
So,
But, yeah, people have been waiting for Fallout 4 for years, and
now,
in my opinion, it's kind of underwhelming. Trust me, there's a bunch of stuff to do. But it's the fact that in my opinion, there's so much to do. It's just I'm overwhelmed, yet, but when you get to that kind of, the extra stuff, it's just, there's not a whole lot of content with that extra stuff sometimes. So it's overwhelming and underwhelming at the same time.
Now, do you think with Metal Gear Solid 5, with the whole Kojima controversy and Konami, do you think that might hurt this game from winning?
Honestly, no. I mean, Metal Gear 5 was Kojima's swan song. He put everything into this game because he knew it would be his last Metal Gear, at least working with Konami. He probably won't be able to work on a Metal Gear again.
Probably not, because Konami wants nothing to do with him now.
I mean, we already know about Konami making Metal Gear pachinko machines. So the Metal Gear series is dead, and it will be dead without Kojima. But he put everything into 5. He put in more money than he was supposed to, which is probably part of the reason why he got fired. He did a lot of sketchy and kind of illegal things to get this game made, but he put his heart and soul into it.
Now, do you think Metal Gear Solid 5 having that prologue type game of MGS5 Ground Zero?
Ground Zero.
Do you think that would take anything away from this as well, or no?
It might. Maybe.
I mean, I know Ground Zero came out 2013, I believe.
Maybe.
I know that was at least a year and a half old. I know it came out. It definitely was not recently.
Yeah.
And
Ground Zeroes was basically a paid demo, and that did not sit well with a lot of people.
Oh yeah, and it was $40 for 2 hours worth of gameplay.
When it first launched, yes.
That's not a good idea.
30 to 40, and then it kept going down and down and down.
And then eventually,
at some point, it went free on PS Plus, and that's why I own it.
Yeah. But I don't know. Do you think Ground Zero would actually hurt the full release of this game? I mean, I never played Ground Zero.
I really don't think it will. there's a bad taste in people's mouth from it, but I don't think it'll really affect it that much.
So then you got The Witcher 3. Again, what do you think about this one? Your final thoughts on Witcher 3.
The Witcher series has never really interested me that much for some reason or another. Back a long time ago, I tried playing Witcher 2 on my laptop and it wouldn't work, so I'm like, whatever. And since then, I just I have no interest. Like, everyone, when it came out, everyone was super hyped. I'm just like, I'm sitting here like Mr. RPG Gamer over here. I'm just like, I don't really want it.
All right. So, and the last one is Mario Maker, which this one is my expertise out of this entire list. With Mario Maker, there are a lot of things done right, and there were definitely some things done wrong. And if the things that were done wrong are with the online aspect of it when it comes to course searching, I don't like the fact that they went back to the friend code style, where you got to type in this monotonous 16-digit long code to play someone's course. I think that's going to hurt the game from winning. I don't think it's going to win anyway. I
really don't think it stands a chance.
I would be very happy and very surprised if it does. But like I said, the course search thing was not done completely correct.
But they did redeem themselves with that, announcing last month the browser.
I like that. I like that. But I think they can update the game to where they could actually put that in the game itself.
Yeah.
Instead of having to go off to a website on your phone or your computer or your tablet, whatever you're using, to search up courses that way, and then put them in your favorites, and then go on the game and play them. Whereas
it's better than nothing.
Right, it's better than nothing, but I think if they could have done that, they probably could have worked maybe a little bit harder and just coded it right into the game as a patch update. Also, I don't think the star rating was the best choice. I think I think they should have used the thumbs up, thumbs down rating like YouTube videos and whatnot use. Because the star rating, once you get a star on your level, it stays there. You can't remove it, if you decide, well, okay, this level wasn't that great, or if you just star a level because you want to play it later. Not to mention, some levels get stars that don't deserve them, like the automatic Mario levels. I hate them.
Disgusting.
I hate them. they may sound nice and they may look cool to look at, the first time. But I didn't pay $60 to go online
and the gameplay itself.
Exactly, and have the game play itself. I paid $60 to make intricate levels, and I'm an asshole when it comes to making levels. I don't make the nicest levels. My design maybe isn't the greatest. It's definitely not Nintendo standard, that's for sure.
Yeah, of course.
But I've made some pretty tough shit. And I paid $60 to play really good levels. Not automatic levels, not shitty levels that you find in the 100 Mario Challenge easy version. But obviously I'm going to pick Mario Maker here because that's just my thing. But I don't think it stands a chance. I think it's going to be, honestly, it's going to be between the top two nominees here. I believe we're going to take it, or either going to be Fallout 4 or Metal Gear Solid 5.
Yeah, probably. I mean, Bloodborne came out, February? And from then,
March, I believe.
This is my game of the year.
Yeah, it was. I believe it came out in March. I think it was.
March. Yeah, early March. And I just knew, this is my personal game of the year.
All right.
I was hoping Fallout, or maybe even Metal Gear, would have taken it. But they really didn't capture me like Bloodborne did.
Right.
So I gotta give my vote to Bloodborne.
So you're going to go with Bloodborne. I say Mario Maker. I'd be very surprised if it does. I think Metal Gear Solid 5 or Fallout 4 is going to win it. I wouldn't be surprised if Fallout 4 runs away with it. But that was all the categories. So to those who watched or listened to this and whatnot, there's really not much to look at. But, at least you got our take on our opinions on this year in gaming. That was 2015. There really isn't anything big coming out in December. Some of you guys might be interested in what's left to come out. Personally, I'm not.
There are a couple games. Just Cause 3 just came out like 2 days ago.
And that's why that's not nominated, because you can't nominate a game that just came out.
Xenoblade Chronicles X comes out this Friday, I think.
Friday. I forgot about that one.
But as far as I know, those are the only games that I necessarily care about that are coming out the rest of the year.
But again, those of you who watched and listened, thanks for listening to us bullshit for about an hour. Again, the Video Game Awards will be streamed live tomorrow night at 9 p.m. Eastern Time, 8 p.m. Central, 6 p.m. Pacific. Any other time zones I can't help you with, so you might want to Google search time zones. Again, you can watch it on sites like Twitch, YouTube, on consoles, PSN, Wii U, surprisingly, and Xbox Live. There are other websites you can find it on as well. You can go to the Game Awards. It's thegameawards.com for more information, to check out the updates. You can look at the nominees for yourself. You can look at the jury, pretty much the people who will be deciding the winners. You can get some info on them. It's live from LA. I'm looking forward to it. It's something I like to watch every year. I remember Spike TV used to do this all the time. I don't know why they stopped. I guess they just don't have their interest in gaming anymore. I remember when Game Trailers was also on Spike TV for a while. But I digress. So for my friend Sean, I am the Rose, and we'll catch your ass down the road.
Later.